Hello, everybody. How you guys doing? This is good old Grandmaster Revan, and this is the Anonymous Republic Network. How you guys doing this fine noon? Well, let's just say that before you decide to go and volunteer, here is something to think about. I came across a channel, a video that was by Salty Crackers. And he did a video a few minutes ago talking about people who are going and volunteering. And it's a trap. Let me see here. Let me see if I can. Now it says here, Reddit soldier of fortune in Ukraine warns it's a trap and you will die. And now we all know that this Russian-Ukraine chaos nonsense was planned 7 years ago in 2015. And so just think about it. You know, everything is really funky. You know, Russia threw a sanction on President dumbshit Biden. They banned social media. They banned Instagram and Facebook. And there was a story about Facebook. I actually shared it on my page, and Facebook said basically it's bullshit, which I don't know about that. And it said here, Meta clarifies policy on call for assassinating heads of state. And a lot of shit too. And I find it funny because, you know, mentioned that Apple and Google booted the RT News app and the Sputnik News app off the App Store. Proved them wrong. And I also mentioned that YouTube has pretty much censored the Sputnik and RT YouTube channel in Europe, which I mentioned that you could check it out if you use a VPN. As long as you use a strong VPN. And here you hear about this is Yafariv International Center for Peacekeeping and Security. Ukraine will defend itself voluntarily, massively, regardless of age and social status, for the sake of families and children. Proof of this is overcrowded training areas and military enlistment officers Sorry. Let me go again. Yevrev International Center for Peacekeeping and Security. Ukraine will defend itself voluntarily, massively, regardless of age and social status, for the sake of families and children. Proof of this is overcrowded training areas and military enlistment offices. This is just the beginning. Now, I want to play here.
That he went down to Ukraine. Now, he's part of the Georgia Volunteer Defense Team, goes down there.
Yeah.
He's with these people. It gets bloated up. He says the base next to them gets bloated up. And then he goes, everybody...
Then, this is by... for those who remotely thinking about going over to Ukraine and volunteer. Watch this shit first before you do. Please spread this around.
Who was alive after this said, fuck this noise, we getting the fuck out of here. Because even before the place got tore the shit up with Russian cruise missiles, he said it was a complete fucking joke. He said that what they were doing, they weren't giving anybody any kit, they weren't giving anybody any plates, and if they even gave you a weapon, you were only going to get about 8 rounds in it, right? That's fucking stupid, right? Half your fucking magazines.
And how are you going to survive on 8 rounds in your fucking clip, dude?
It's probably empty, and they're going to send you to the front line. Again, they want you dead. They need you dead. Dead Americans helps them. There's a whole bunch going on over here. There's a shit ton. When you see all of this right here, when you see these magnets for these Western gullible people to come flock down to it because they're ingesting all of this propaganda, predominantly put out by places like Reddit.
It's called a global kabuki theater.
Mainstream media. They need all of these dead Westerners, I'm thinking, to help cover up the fact that they got MI6. You saw this the other day. Even in this one of these camps that got blown up yesterday, they go, holy shit, I can't believe they blew up 3 ex-MI6 personnel.
I mean, you had, what, a couple of U.S. Journalists shot and killed and shit. One from Fox News, one from the New York Times and shit. Holy crap.
Are you ever really ex-MI6, to be honest with me? You got a bunch of CIA over here. You got a bunch of MI6. You got a bunch of people who are not supposed to be in this area. These are boots on the ground. These are NATO boots on the ground. And now their carcasses are being laundered, or it's being cut with these dead Redditors, with these dead Westerners. So it's not just a whole bunch of CIA operatives getting killed. No, it's a few CIA operators getting killed and hundreds of dumb assholes from Reddit. And you shouldn't say that. These cocksuckers on Reddit ain't gonna do fucking anything. These lazy, gullible, mentally ill sons of bitches who don't know what bathroom to use, who've been afraid of Koof for 2 fucking years, they ain't going to Ukraine. They ain't ever fighting for anything, right? The problem with these assholes, once everybody who survived the raining down of Russian cruise missiles recognized that this entire thing's a fucking joke, that the billions and billions and billions
of dollars,
pretty fucking idiots, and
now, check this out. I'm Ukrainian-Russian, you dumb motherfucker. The dirty work you mentioned translate into killing my family. My family is directly involved and affected by this. Some of my family members are now officially refugees. Other family members were not too lucky, may soon be conscripted and forced to fight and kill each other by the respective governments under duress. Most of my family cannot leave the war zone. The crematory which we volunteer for is keeping us trapped there. None of us want to this stupid, senseless, horrible war in Russia. The confusion, objectors getting thrown in prison and treated horribly. At best, Ukraine is the same way, but there's a danger to multiple guys and their friends similarly executing people for refusing to fight. Here you show up, try to stick your dick in the proverbial blender. There's nothing brave for fighting for either Zelensky or Putin. There's nothing brave about sticking your nose where it doesn't belong. There's no brave about instigating, inflaming, and prolonging a conflict. There's nothing brave about being a pawn in NATO, US, CIA. There's nothing brave about fighting for oligarchs and imperialists. There's nothing brave about going to a war zone halfway around the world for internet points. Go the fuck home once you're there. Probably the most productive thing you ever do is to protect the US government and Wall Street. Organize anti-war efforts in your area. Inform yourself, educate others about this, about what's nasty shit your government does domestically and abroad. Try to stop it. That is Ukrainians telling Reddit LARPers to stay the fuck out of their country. So this whole entire Ukrainian-Russian chaos bullshit is nothing more than a global kabuki theater. That's all it is. Kabuki fucking theater.
Because you just don't know that we're helping you. It's the fucking meme. It's the situation. Barely made it the fuck out of this place. Get me.
So ask yourself. Now, he did a video 6 hours ago. Media isn't interested in Zelensky war crime bombing civilians in Donetsk, Donetsk.
Will somebody please get me that pussy Sean Penn on the phone? I found a war crime. One of those war crimes you lefties been banging on lately. Because, of course, Hitler, Putin's.
Dozens killed in Ukrainian cluster bomb attack on center Donetsk. Donetsk. Full report coming soon by Patrick Lancaster on Twitter.
Killing civilians in Ukraine. He's blowing up apartment blocks in Ukraine. Residential blocks in Ukraine are being exploded by the Hitler Putins. Don't ask if the Azov battalion is setting up fire points within the residential areas, making them a legitimate military target, because that's not fucking allowed. Every single Ukrainian soldier is a saint, and every single Russian is a Hitler. They're a Hitler, I'm telling you right now. I saw. They love so much Ukraine.
23 dead in separatist Donetsk region after attack by Ukraine, says Russia. The Russian-Ukrainian war, Moscow accused Ukraine's army firing a Tutska-U missile in a residential area in Donetsk, and one of the most serious attacks in the city since Russia sent troops into Ukraine over 2 weeks ago.
Commit a war.
Mural in homage to Ukrainian president unveils in Polish city. A wall painting depicting Ukrainian's head of state Vladimir Zelensky as Harry Potter adored a western Polish city of Poznań. I can't pronounce it. The CODZIENNYPOZNAN .P1 website was reported.
Here, they are not firing from this position.
It's really, I mean, holy crap. Doesn't have died.
There's one aspect. There's this one part of the fucking video.
Like, holy shit.
That Ukraine just launched into the city square, where they call.
Facebook is promoting calls for violence and death on Russian
Mark,
civilians.
are the allegations true that you were secretly a lizard?
Well, in general, right? You're allowed to call for the death of white, as long as it's a straight white male, you're allowed to call for their death, you're allowed to call for them to be murdered in the street. That's totally fine on these platforms. They didn't explicitly say it was okay. They just said you weren't allowed to be mean to, and then they list every single permutation and combination of a human except for straight white men.
Okay, this is from the Twitter page of Russian with Altitude, the RWE podcast. This is a Reuters story. Exclusive: Facebook, Instagram are temporarily allow call for violence against Russians. Really? Really? Ain't that calling a turd a floater? Now, I gotta say this here. I mean, like, dude, this is just insane. This is just insane. Then you hear about the truckers in Canada. Truckers in Canada. Getting crap from that Trudeau and his fucking government and shit. Like, what the fuck, dude? You know, I mean, and then you have our truckers going to DC. There was a press conference with truckers here in the States, in Texas, and they were with Ted Cruz, and these truckers were schooling the media, man. They were like, hey, this isn't a left thing or a right thing. This isn't no Democratic thing or a Republican thing. This is an American thing. And you can play your little kabuki theater bullshit all you want, but all we want is talk to idiots in Congress and the Senate and even the White House, you know, shit like that. And so it's really insane that when you think, okay, well, maybe you're not getting everything as what you're being. Well, the thing is, the mainstream media can't be trusted because they work for the rhinos and the liberal and progressive Democrats, the social Democrats, and they also work for corporations, the banks, big pharma, big gas, big oil, all that other shit, you know. And they even big tech is getting involved in throwing some money in someone's deep pockets, you know. Even the lobbyists are doing it too. But I think there's a lot more than what we're being led on. But they're wanting to take out Putin because, yeah, he's not the sharpest tool in he's not the sharpest tool in the toolbox, but you know, he's not afraid of the United States, man. I mean, you think that he's afraid of sanctions? Oh, fuck no. Well, fuck no. And Like, dude, man. But it's really kabuki theater, a global kabuki theater. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please share this video. Hit that like button. Please subscribe if you're new to this channel. And live healthy, happy, wise. I love you guys. And I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out. Godspeed.